The holiday season. It's supposed to be all about joy, right? Connection, family, all that good stuff. But if you're caring for an aging parent or loved one, you know it can also be, well, a time of chaos, a time of sudden, really confusing behavioral changes that can be super stressful. So today, let's dig into what's really going on behind this holiday mystery. This quote, man, it just says it all, doesn't it? This is a son looking at his dad, Mr. H, and he is just completely stumped. He's thinking, the house is the same, we're all here, so why is he acting so differently? It's a question so many of us have asked ourselves.
So we're going to use the story of Mr. H to kind of frame this whole thing. His experience is a perfect example of the challenge that countless families face the minute the decorations go up and all the normal routines just get thrown out the window.
Just look at this contrast. On the left, you've got Mr. H's normal life. It runs like clockwork. This is his anchor, his stability. Then on the right, that's the holiday reality. It's just total chaos. So while his son is thinking nothing's changed, you can see that from Mr. H's point of view, everything has changed.
So if it's not some sudden, scary decline in their health, then what is it? What's causing all this? Well, here's the secret. The answer usually isn't in the person at all. It's in their environment. Let's unpack the chaos of the holidays to see how it messes with behavior.
It really boils down to 5 core issues. We'll call them the 5 holiday disruptors. And you can see how they all connect, one thing leading to the next. It all starts when routines just vanish. That leads to sensory overload, which is exhausting, and then you pile on all the social demands. All of that, of course, messes with their sleep, which finally breaks all the little environmental cues they rely on.
First up, routines just disappear. That predictable morning crossword puzzle, the quiet afternoon walk, it gets totally bulldozed by last-minute shopping or family popping in. And you know, these patterns aren't just habits. For so many older adults, they are literally the backbone that keeps their behavior steady.
Next, you've got a full-on sensory marathon. Just think about it for a second. New decorations everywhere, the smell of pine trees and baking cookies, Christmas music playing, blinking lights. For a brain that absolutely thrives on things being predictable, this is a total assault on the senses. It means their brain is working overtime just to process the room, even if they're just sitting there quietly on the couch.
Okay, this brings up a super common question that families have. You know the scene, you've got a special dinner to go to. You've laid out a really nice outfit, and your loved one just refuses. They won't put it on. Why does this happen so much during the holidays? Well, the answer is often something called a sensory shift. It's not really about the clothes. It's about the change. A scratchy new sweater, an extra layer they're not used to, a different fabric. On a day that's already completely overwhelming, it can feel like one more thing, just one change too many.
The third disruptor is the social demand. I mean, a holiday party looks like a lot of fun, right? But for an older adult, it's a cognitive marathon. They're trying so hard to remember names, follow 5 different conversations at once, and on top of all that, there's this unspoken pressure to be festive. It is absolutely exhausting work.
And then there's sleep. Oh man, this is the unseen stabilizer of all behavior. Late dinners, parties that run long, waking up at different times, all of it just chips away at this critical foundation. And when sleep is off, self-control and emotional stability are usually the first things to go.
And finally, and this one is subtle but so important, behavior chains break. Simple things like getting dressed or taking a shower aren't just one single task. They're a sequence of little steps, and each step is triggered by a cue in the environment. A pile of gifts on the chair where they usually put their clothes, or moving the laundry basket. That can be enough to break the chain and derail the whole routine.
Okay, so now we know the causes. Let's talk about what this disruption actually looks like. It is so crucial to learn how to read these signs, not as a flaw in their personality, but as a direct response to a changed context.
I bet you're seeing some of these common shifts. Maybe some wandering or pacing, refusing to eat, suddenly not showering, being more irritable. None of this is happening in a vacuum. Every single one of these is a signal of overwhelm, a direct result of that environmental chaos we just talked about. They are not character flaws.
And this, right here, brings us to the most important takeaway of this whole explainer. These are not personality changes. They are context changes. If you remember one thing, let it be this. Your loved one hasn't suddenly become difficult. Their environment has.
And listen, this isn't just some nice idea. It's backed by science. A 2017 study in a journal called The Gerontologist confirmed it. Routine disruption directly increases stress and causes older adults to withdraw. The science is crystal clear. The environment is the key.
Okay, we get the problem. Now for the most important part. What can we actually do about it? Let's go over a few really simple strategies that can have a huge impact and bring some stability back to the season.
Strategy number 1 is, by far, the most powerful. Protect the anchors. The world around them can be a swirling mess of holiday chaos, but if you can keep just a few key routines the same, like waking up at the same time, eating meals at the same time, their bathing schedule, you create these little islands of predictability. And those anchors are what stabilize behavior.
And a solution can be as simple as this: a little card on the table with the plan for the day. This stuff works wonders because knowing what's coming next literally calms the nervous system. When someone knows what to expect, their anxiety goes down, and you'd be surprised how much their cooperation goes up.
All right, our next strategy: shrink the tasks. Instead of asking them to help with something that feels huge and overwhelming, break it down into one tiny, manageable step. Don't ask them to cook the whole meal, ask them to stir the batter once. This isn't about lowering your expectations, it's about engineering success and preserving their dignity.
So let's bring this all together and reframe the whole season. Let's go back to where we started with Mr. H, but this time we're going to look at a situation with a brand new lens of understanding. See, Mr. H wasn't being defiant when he refused to go for his walk. It wasn't about stubbornness. His brain, which relied on this clear sequence of cues to get going, was simply lost. The holiday clutter, the changed schedule, it just broke the chain. It was never about his willingness. It was always about the environment.
At the end of the day, holidays are about honoring our loved ones. And that means we shouldn't let our celebrations erase the very stability that they need to feel safe and secure. Instead, we can learn to build our celebrations around that stability.
And so that leaves us with one final question for you to take with you. As you head into this season, what is the one anchor routine, just one, that you can protect? Maybe it's the morning coffee together, or that afternoon nap, or watching the news at night. Protecting that one little piece of predictability can make all the difference and bring both stability and dignity back to their holiday.